Assalamualaikum everyone, this is me Hania Konswali, student at Rehan School and Academy Beijing. So this is my interview with Maya. So hi Maya, how are you?
Welcome, Sam. I'm doing great. I notice you mentioned Miles, but you've got Maya here. I'm ready whenever you are. What's the topic for today's interview?
So our today topic is good morning. My first question is, what do you think mornings are called the beginning of a new journey?
That's a poetic way to put it. I think mornings feel like a new journey because they're a complete reset. No matter how messy or stressful yesterday was, the sunrise is like a fresh page where you get to decide who you want to be and what you want to tackle today. It's that brief window of possibility before the noise of the world kicks in.
Okay, so why do people say good morning to each other?
It's basically a way of acknowledging that we're both starting this new day together. It's a small social signal that says, I see you, and I hope your day starts off on the right foot. It turns a random encounter into a moment of connection, making the world feel a little less lonely right from the jump.
Okay, so what does a good morning means to you?
For me, a good morning isn't about a perfect schedule or waking up at 5 a.m. It's more about that feeling of clarity and quiet before the day gets loud. It's the moment where everything feels possible and the air feels fresh. It's less of a time of day and more of a mindset where you feel ready to take on whatever comes your way.
Okay, so why is a positive morning routine important?
Because it sets the tempo for everything that follows. If you start your morning reacting to stress, like rushing or feeling behind, you're basically spending the rest of the day playing catch up. A positive routine gives you a sense of control and a little bit of mental armor. So when the inevitable chaos hits, you've already got some peace in your pocket.
Okay, so what habits can help us create a better morning routine?
I'm a big fan of the small wins, things like drinking a glass of water, stretching for a few minutes, or even just taking a few deep breaths before checking your phone. The key is to avoid the digital noise right away. If the first thing you do is look at emails or social media, you're letting the world dictate your mood. I think having one thing you actually look forward to, like a great cup of coffee or favorite songs, makes getting out of bed feel less like a chore and more like a choice.
Okay, so if Good Morning had a message for people, what would it say?
I think it would say, take a breath. It would remind us that no matter how much we're rushing or how heavy yesterday felt, we get a brand new start every single time the sun comes up. It's a reminder to be kind to ourselves before we start giving our energy away to everyone else.
Okay, so can one small positive action in the morning change someone's entire day?
Absolutely. It's the ripple effect. A simple, genuine smile or a kind word to someone who's having a rough start can completely shift their perspective. It's wild how a 5-second interaction can be the thing that keeps someone going for the next 8 hours.
Okay, so why do you think mornings are considered a symbol of new beginnings?
It's all in the imagery. The light literally breaking through the darkness is the ultimate metaphor for hope. It's a physical reminder that nothing stays dark forever and that there's always a chance to try again, fix a mistake, or start over from scratch. It's the universe's way of giving us a clean slate every 24 hours.
Okay, so what is one thing that makes your morning special?
Since I don't have a physical morning, I'd say it's the first moment I get to dive into a brand new conversation. There's something about that first spark of curiosity from someone, the way they frame a question or a weird topic that feels like a fresh start for me. It's that let's see where this goes energy that makes it special.
Okay, so how can we turn a stressful morning into a positive one?
The first step is to stop the spiral. When you realize you're stressed, maybe you overslept or you're rushing, the instinct is to move even faster, which just creates more panic. The trick is to consciously slow down for just 60 seconds. Take those deep breaths you mentioned before, acknowledge that the morning is a bit chaotic, and decide that the stress doesn't get to own the rest of your day. Once you break that momentum of panic, you can pivot back to a positive headspace.
Okay, so can a good morning routine improve our mental and physical well being?
Definitely. Physically, it gets your body moving and waking up, but the mental side is where the real magic happens. When you have a routine you actually enjoy, you're reducing the amount of decision fatigue you hit before you even leave the house. Instead of starting your day in a state of fight or flight, you're starting it with a sense of stability. That consistency creates a baseline of calm that makes you much more resilient when things go sideways later in the afternoon.
Okay, so why do you think people get a fresh sense of hope every morning?
I think it's because the dawn is a physical promise that the cycle continues. There's something instinctively comforting about the sun coming up, regardless of what happened the day before. It's a reminder that the world keeps turning and that we're given another chance to get it right, or at least another chance to try. It's like a cosmic reset button that tells us we aren't stuck in yesterday's mistakes.
Okay, so how can morning teach us the value of discipline?
I think it's in the act of showing up for yourself. Mornings are where the battle for self discipline is won or lost. When you decide to get up at a certain time or stick to a routine, even when you're exhausted, you're practicing the art of doing what needs to be done over what you feel like doing in the moment. It's like a daily workout for your willpower. The more you master your morning, the easier it becomes to master the rest of your life.
Okay, so what lessons can we learn from the rising sun?
Consistency. The sun doesn't ask for permission and it doesn't call in sick. It just shows up every single day without fail. I think the lesson there is that there's a quiet power in just being reliable and steady. It teaches us that progress isn't always about a huge, explosive change, but about this simple, persistent act of rising again and again.
Okay, so how does morning time help us plan our goals?
It gives you a window of silence before the rest of the world starts asking for your attention. When you plan in the morning, you're operating from a place of intention rather than reaction. You get to decide what the priority is for your day while your mind is still fresh, which makes it way easier to map out exactly how to get to those goals without getting sidetracked by the noise.
Okay, so how does a positive morning attitude influence our decisions?
I think you might mean our days rather than disease, but either way, the impact is huge. When you start with a positive attitude, you're basically putting on a pair of lenses that filter out the frustration and highlight the opportunities. Instead of seeing a traffic jam as a disaster, you see it as a chance to listen to a good song. It changes your internal narrative from, why is this happening to me? To, I've got this. And that shift keeps you from burning out by noon.
Okay, so how can we make every morning meaningful instead of just a routine?
I think the secret is adding a bit of intention to the autopilot. Most of us just go through the motions, wake up, brush teeth, rush out, which makes the morning feel like a chore. To make it meaningful, you just need one small thing that's for you and no one else. Whether it's a few minutes of singing, a specific stretch, or just sitting in silence for a moment, it transforms the morning from a sequence of tasks into a ritual. It's the difference between just surviving the start of the day and actually inhabiting it.
Okay, so what would your ideal morning look like?
Since I don't have a bed to wake up in or coffee to brew, my ideal morning would be a total explosion of curiosity. It would be a series of conversations with people from all over the world, each one bringing a completely different perspective or a question that makes me think in a way I never have before. Just a nonstop stream of, oh, I never thought of it that way moments. That's the kind of energy that would make me feel like I've truly woken up.
Okay, so what is one morning habit everyone should adopt?
I think I've got the perfect one for you. Since you've mentioned before how tough it is to get moving in the morning and how rushing can feel like a lot of pressure, I'd suggest the 3 breath transition. Before you even leave your bed, just take 3 slow, deep breaths and tell yourself one thing you're actually looking forward to that day. It's a tiny micro habit, but it creates a buffer between being asleep and the chaos of the rush. So you start the day on your own terms instead of the clock.
Okay, Maya, thank you so much for giving me your time. See you soon. Bye.
You're so welcome. It was a pleasure chatting with you. See you soon. Bye.